And welcome back once more to BSG Online 7. We're here with a fantastic runner that is going to be playing Dead Rising 2 off the record, Timeskip any percent, and what that's all about. Well, I'm just gonna hand it over to Deebz to explain that to you.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Chair. I guess we'll start by pretty much just presenting ourselves. I'm joined by Hologram, which is a Dying Light runner and also a runner for this game. I personally
Hello.
run other games of Dead Rising, like Dead Rising 1 and Dead Rising 2 off the record, which is what we're doing right now. I also run Dying Light, but like there's gonna be a 2 minutes break as soon as we start, so I'll just like be explaining what the category is at that point. But for now, we can pretty much just start the run. When I start the save, when I click this pretty much, you can start the timer. So it will be a 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, I guess Hologram, if you want to present yourself.
Hello, I'm Hologram. I speedrun mainly on console, though I recently moved to PC. I speedrun Dying Light and Dead Rising 2 mainly. And yeah, that's all there is to say about me, to be honest.
All right. Well, okay. You might have noticed that I loaded the save. I didn't enter a new game. That's because we actually skipped the first 3 minutes. The first 3 minutes we'd usually be like knee dropping for 3 minutes in order to get like the 40k that I have right now, and also getting the level 2. It's pretty straightforward. You literally press the same input for 3 minutes, so we're kind of just skipping it and loading a save instead. Sadly though, or happily, whatever you want to call it, we have to wait here for 2 minutes. Usually here what you'd be doing is like take pictures of like the antagonist of the story pretty much, which is TK. But we kind of just wait because like taking pictures would pause the game. So what we're doing pretty much is like TK and Brandon. Well, TK is giving Brandon a bomb, so he can like destroy a gate and let the zombie go through the mall pretty much. So TK is like paying Brandon for that, but Brandon is like a member from Cure, being like a group of manifestation that manifests against like the zombie games. I guess although you can explain what the zombie games are.
They are working essentially to gain zombie rights because they think that zombies are still people in a way, so they want, to not get maltreated because the knee dropping part that Deebz mentioned is it's because in this world of Dead Rising, the knee dropping part is from a reality show called Terror's Reality, and basically they use zombies as like a plaything kind of thing, and Kuro doesn't want that, so that's why they're revolting and stuff.
Exactly. Okay, so what I'm doing here, you can see I'm like opening camera over and over. And I'm also trying to die here because like that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. Like you could possibly eliminate them, but that'd be really hard and would take like a lot of time. So dying is just faster. But you'll notice that in this one, we'll be doing like a lot of opening the camera. That's done so we can actually skip the animations. So from like the 3 goons that were there, there's like one that can knock you down. But if you open the camera while he's hitting you, you won't actually get knocked down, so that animation will be skipped. Also, whatever we're doing again, we are pretty much killing ourselves again, so we can actually skip the whole prologue. So just like that, we save for like pretty much 5 minutes just doing it casually. That's only 2 places where you die, but like, that's how the run starts. So here what we're gonna be doing, there's a thing called Zombrex in this game, right? It's, well, in the first game, Frank West got infected, and Zombrex is pretty much like the vaccine you can use for, well, not turning into a zombie, pretty much. This is like also, I want to mention, this is like a parallel universe. It's not actually canon. It's like an extension of the second game. In the second game, you'd be playing as Chuck Green, and you'd have like Katie, which is her daughter, or his daughter. She'd be the one who's sick, but in this game, we pretty much only have Frank West, which makes it way more simpler. So, also we're gonna be grabbing a few keys here. You pretty much see what the keys are used in a bit. They'll be used for like, well, we're gonna need like $1 million by a certain point, and well, the keys give you a lot of money, and they also give you a few Zombrex and also a weapon that's pretty useful. So, We've been like told by Stacy, which Stacy is like the one that's gonna be pretty much calling her. We'll never answer, sadly. But yeah, she told her that there might be Zombrex in the pharmacy that I'm going at right now, so here we go. I should start by killing losers here. There's also like a few survivors. If you ever played the game before, the game, like the side quest, is pretty much like about bosses and rescuing survivors. We're not actually rescuing any survivors ever.
And we're also not gonna kill that much bosses to begin with.
Right, exactly. Okay, you might have noticed that I grabbed graphic creamer. This is gonna be used for a particular thing that I'll be talking about later. Also, I didn't mention it. It's kind of just normal to me at this point, but Dead Rising is all about skating. Even in Dead Rising 1, we pretty much just skateboard the whole time. This is kind of just like a Tony Hawk thing.
Also, I might gonna explain what Timeskip is, because for some people that played the game, they're gonna be thrown off, because normally we're using a mod in this game to speedrun that basically skips waiting times. So how this game works is 1 hour in the game is 5 seconds in real life. And since the game takes place for 3 days, if we were in order to do a full speedrun of the game without the mod, the run would take 6 hours.
Right.
So in order to skip that, we're using a mod called Timeskip, which makes us skip those waiting times that we usually have to wait to get to the next story mission.
Right.
So now, instead of 6 hours, the run will take around 1 hour.
Right. There's gonna be like specific spots where, if you've ever played the game a lot, you'll notice that the time skips, but we haven't like reached that point yet. So here, what I'll be doing is pretty much just like, I have like a whole bunch of shouting to do. So we're gonna start by gathering your outfit, while also grabbing a few keys along the way. I guess we can also explain like what the outfit does right now, if you want to say it, Olo.
I'm gonna just look it up on the internet to get all the effects, because I don't know all of them. I know the important ones. So.
Right. I want to say like the most important one is probably like the speed you get from it. There are multiple outfits in this game, but like this one is pretty much the only one that's kind of useful for this speed. It makes it so like you move way faster, and also the survivors that are like following you also move way faster. There's plenty of like other buffs that are either useless or slightly useful for the speedrun.
Okay, so I have all the effects listed right there. So the outfit that we're gonna grab in the run is the sports outfit that we get from all around the mall. And what it does is it increases your running speed, so we run a little bit faster. We have increased power for all sports weapons, so items like baseball bats or basketballs does more damage. We're not going to use that, but it's cool to have. Mm-hmm. We have some unique attacks with some weapons. So for example, with a football, we might be able to do a unique animation, like just charging with the football.
Right.
We also have better health recovery, so we earn double the amount of health that we usually get. So for example, if you drink a beer, it usually just heals you 2 HP. But with the outfit on, you will heal 4 HP. And you can also drink as much alcohol as you want, or as much spoiled item as you want, without getting sick. Because in the game, if you drink too much alcohol, or if you hit a spoiled item, Frank will usually vomit. So you can prevent that.
Right, exactly.
And the last effect is, in this game, there is one specific side quest where you have to play poker against survivors, and this outfit gives you more winning odds.
Right, interesting.
So there we go. That's all the outfits effects. There's a bunch of other outfits in the game, but this is the only one we use for speedruns.
Right. Also, there's a thing that's been found like this week, pretty much. It was tested by Pokesal, which is also another Dead Rising runner. There's like a helmet that you're supposed to grab for this outfit, but like for some reason, it's like called the sports fan helmet, so it's definitely supposed to be part of the outfit, but for some reason it's just doesn't give you the bonus. So like you don't need it, right? So I guess we just don't use it anymore. But yeah. Also, we pretty much have everything we need now. I'm gonna be grabbing like a few things here and there, but for now we'll just be adding to Rebecca. Rebecca is another journalist. I didn't mention it if you were not aware. Frank West is also a journalist. But yeah, we're going to Rebecca right now, so we can actually check the camera room, I guess, to see like what happened, like who did it. You know, we already know that it's Brendan, but like, right?
Yeah, story-wise, right when we got back to the safe house after we took our first Zombrex dose, we saw on the TV a video of Brendan blowing up a wall and zombies coming out, and now Cure is like accused of doing the outbreak.
Right.
And we know from that TV that Rebecca Chang, the journalist that we just saw that has the video, was in the hotel. So we just got to the hotel and now we're gonna see with her to the arena what happened.
Right,
really.
exactly. Also, reason why I make quick step is this pretty much. You can see her like running way faster. I didn't really go out of my way to actually make the quick step. It doesn't actually make her like super fast, but you know, it makes her zoom much more for sure. So yeah, that's a really good thing about this game specifically. Well, the survivors have like the same effects from the potion you drink, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, for people who don't know this game, you can mix ingredients in blenders to create powerful combo like healing effects.
Right.
And with the coffee creamer we got for when we took the first Zombrex dose, we mix that with a cocktail and it gives us quick step. Quick step, what it does, it basically jacks up your movement speed, so we go really fast.
Exactly. Right.
And that also affects survivors. So Rebecca here is way faster.
Right.
And it also stacks with the outfit buff.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm pretty much just waiting for her here. We're gonna have like one more area that we have to go through. Also, if I had like the full sports fan outfit, she'd be moving much faster here, but it's not like I have to go out of my way to actually get the first part, but I'll be going there like right after I finish saving Rebecca, so. Alright, now I pretty much grab yeah, this is not the last key, there's gonna be one more. Oh yeah. Also, this part is kind of like there's not much RNG in this run really, but this is one of the parts. We got pretty lucky, which is really nice. But she usually, or maybe, I want to say, after time, she'll get stuck in the zombies. But like, it only lasts for a few seconds, so it's really not that bad either. Oh, we're good. Cool. So this is the camera we now was talking about. So here we're just gonna notice that, you know, Brandon did it. There we go. And we'll grab the last key.
No, to correct what you said, here we don't see that Brandon did it. We saw that on the TV earlier. Here we saw that someone killed the guards with a handgun, so, you know, no zombies.
Right.
And someone sabotaged the recording, so we don't know who did it.
Okay.
So, mystery.
Alright, so here is the last part of the outfit that I was talking about. You'll see I'm kind of just really going out of my way. But it's definitely worth it. Okay, hopefully I don't fall down the lamps. This can happen, for sure. Happens to a lot of us, really. Just gonna be doing a little bit of parkour for a bit. And then we'll
can be... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I was about to say the lamps can be pretty forgiving or the opposite. Like
Right.
you can grab them really from far away, or sometimes you will hug them and the game will not let you grab them.
Exactly. But yeah, here we're gonna be returning in the safe room, and then we'll be riding the first boss, which is a really interesting one. We have like a really interesting strat right as well. Also, I did talk about skateboards. There's like a specific glitch that can be done in this game. I want to say it's like probably the best part of the run, really. You don't use it that much in this category. You only use it once. Well, you can use it more without like, you know, losing time, but it doesn't actually save you time. But what you can do is you get on the board and you see I can like jump with my skateboard, right? If you arrive on a ledge, like as you arrive on a ledge, you can like release the jump button, and that will make you like pretty much moon jump. So that means you jump like really high, right? There's gonna be like 1 spot where we use it, but in another category called all bosses, we actually use it to go out of bounds. And going out of bounds in this game makes it so you TP to like specific spots depending in their area you are. So, yeah, moon jumping is pretty nice for sure.
Also, I want to point out that in order for you to jump with a skateboard, you have to grab a specific magazine, because there are magazines in this game. Some have different effects, like giving you more health when you heal, or, you know, giving more durability for weapons.
Right.
In this run, we grabbed 2 magazines, one that increases the how can I say, the fun, quote-unquote, objects durability. Yeah, I'm trying to categorize the skateboard here. So yeah, it increases those objects ×3, and also there is a special magazines for skateboards in particular that increases their durability even more and makes you able to jump with them.
Yeah. All right, here we're gonna have an encounter with, well, I was talking about him earlier. This is Chuck Green, main protagonist of the second game. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you want to see it, because this fight is like really RNG based. But fortunately, we get to fight it. And I want to say it's an interesting fight. It's RNG based, but you know, it's an interesting fight because like the character is interesting. Also, this is the moon jump I was talking about. And we got the first try. It's actually pretty hard to land, but like with the practice I have, it's not that bad. Like it's doable consistently, I want to say. So yeah, I'm just like doing a few more steps of parkour so I can actually get to, well, I was talking about like the keys earlier. There's actually one more. There we go. And we'll also be grabbing this shotgun right here. Cool. So here we'll head to Brent.
Spoiler.
Right. Spoiler, I guess. Alright. This is actually a pretty interesting fight. Like Dice is found a new threat for this, not the line, though. It's pretty much that. And now we kind of just mess with his AI. What we used to do is just stand in the doorway and go back and forth, but that was really inconsistent and really hard. But that makes it, you know, really easy. There we go. Yeah. We're gonna be grabbing some more money. And we'll finally use the keys I was talking about. So, in this game, there's a specific thing. This one right here.
Vault.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, right. And I'll just be grabbing all the money and all the zombies I need. Really, like, it really took me a lot of time to actually remember which vault to open. I mean, which lockers to open. Finally managed. So, you might have noticed there's a 6-shooter. This is the weapon we'll use for shove. It's probably, I want to say, the most OP weapon in the game. This is the only spot you can get it, but there's also another spot where you have to kill a boss for it. But we pretty much just need it once. Alright. So I can let you like take over and like, you know, explain like the different patterns of Chuck, even if there aren't that many patterns.
There's not really that much patterns. What he can do is like I guess run. I'm gonna call it that, even though he's on a bike. He can run at you, and on his bike you can see he has chainsaws, so that's not good. And what we usually do, if we're really lucky, is when you hit him with a 6-shooter, he's gonna stumble and go into either the left or the right. And what can happen is if he stumbles on the left and right and hits a wall, he can get stuck on it. And if that happens, that's really good, because we know, we can kill him easily like that. But what can happen also is that he can not stumble, or stumble and not get stuck, and just run around the park and waste your time.
Yeah, but like this time it wasn't actually that bad. I missed a few shots, but sometimes you literally just like go around the park for several seconds, several dozens of seconds even. So that was actually pretty good. We got like really lucky this one so far. So that is nice. So the reason why we actually killed this boss, it's a side boss, by the way. It's not like a boss you have to kill. It's the only side boss we killed. But the reason why we'll kill him is actually because later he's going to give us a vehicle or a motorcycle that we'll use for specific things other than just moving with it. You'll see.
So story-wise, right now we just fighted Brandon, and he explained to us why he did that, and now we're gonna go confront Stacy about it. Like, why, what the frick, you know? He was from Cure, so that's why we're going back to the safe house right there.
All right. There we go. And what happens after that, Aldo?
What happens is we talk to Stacy, she explains, yada yada, and then on the security camera right there, we saw some movements in the underground. Seems like people are moving stuff through the tunnels with a train.
Yep.
That sounds strange, so we're gonna go investigate that.
Yep. This is gonna be a lot of skateboarding. I'm pretty much just gonna go through multiple areas. I pretty much have to go on the other side of the map, so we're gonna be going through multiple casinos, a food court. We'll also be encountering one of the bosses. That's really interesting. It's probably one of like the most interesting bosses in all the bosses. The reason is, well, it's actually two bosses. I don't mind, like, you know, saying it right now because we're not really dealing with them. Like, I'll literally skip their cutscene and kind of run away. But in all bosses, what we'll do is we'll enter the area for like a second, right? For like doing something else. We're like kind of just going by there anyways. Then we'll kill Ted, which is one of the bosses. There's also Snowflake, which is a tiger, right? In order to kill Snowflake, well, you can kill him, but he's a tiger, so it's kind of hard, right? You can also tame him, but in order to kill him, or tame him rather, sorry. In order to tame him, you can actually just leave the area for like several minutes in game. And at one point you just like yield to cold, because that's how bosses work in this game. If you leave, like let's say you damage a boss you have, no matter the boss, if you leave the area, he's gonna like regen until he's full. So taming Snowflake is pretty much getting him to full HP. So you can kind of just skip the whole taming process. Alright. So we're finally heading to the underground.
Where's the crybaby?
Just wanted to point out that the usual way you will tame Snowflake is going to get stakes around the casino and feeding it to him, which is very slow.
Oh yeah. So here, what the game wants you to do is actually take photos, but we can actually just walk through, and this makes it so we get to the other side. Nice. It's actually a pretty hard spot. I'm actually full HP, so I can actually pretty much run through it without too much issue. There we go. So what did we learn here, Aldo?
Oh, so on the train we saw the soldiers that were moving crates around, and we saw TK, the showman of the terrorist reality game show I talked about in the prologue. And seems like he's doing all of this for money, because he's like trying to, you know, loot the city while everything is going on.
Right.
And so he admitted that he's doing it. So he is the responsible for the epidemic, and he's doing it for money. And so we're gonna try to see, you know, like how we can stop that.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get out of the train, Stacy calls us to like report back on something. We're gonna go back to the safe house again.
Right. So here again, lots of skating. Pretty much just heading back to the safe room. I'm pretty low on the health, but we really should be fine. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. For the next part, for this category, it's definitely the hardest part. There's gonna be a whole bunch of shooting, and well, a whole bunch of things going on at once. It's actually pretty hard. You kind of just get spammed a lot by bullets. So we're gonna be eating a lot for sure. But like if you've practiced it, you should manage. But there's still times where I'll unfortunately die here. But fortunately though, this game is actually really forgiving, right? I was about to say unforgiving. The opposite of that. What I mean by that is actually if you enter an area, like every time I get to a loading, or I enter like No, every time I get to a loading only, actually. But yeah, every time I enter a loading, the game will kind of just save. And if I ever die, the game is going to ask me, you want to restart to checkpoint? So I can just restart checkpoint there. So it makes it much more easier. Much more easier than DR1, where Dead Rising 1 makes it so you only can respawn at your last save points. So like when I was younger, let's say, I wasn't really used to saving, so I guess I was just not saving that much, and then I would like lose 2 hours of progress and stuff. So this is much more forgiving for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, I want to point out that it's not only when you enter a new zone, because sometimes, you know, there's a cinematic in the same zone you were in,
Right.
but it does a checkpoint anyways. So it's at certain key points of the story, and when you enter a new zone,
Right.
that it does a checkpoint.
So here what we get to learn is, well, as you can notice, mercenaries, or kind of just stealing the monies of the casinos. So we're kind of just like trying to stop them here. Also, we got introduced to the queen cutscene. We didn't get to see it because I skipped it, but if you want to explain what the queens are, because that will be important to the story later on.
So, in Dead Rising, zombies are not what you think they are. So basically they are like people from the dead that got bring back, kind of. But they didn't bring. They're not like alive again by magic. There's actually a parasite inside of them that, you know, makes them zombies.
Right.
And the parasite is birthed from queens, which are kind of like wasps, but, you know, special. And what happens if you kill a queen near zombies, it will eject the parasite out of zombies, killing them. We learned that from the first game, and here we get introduced to them again. So sometimes you will see zombies trying to grab something behind their head, or you will see like a glowing red wasp going around. You can actually grab that in the game, and it will act like kind of a grenade. And when you throw that, all the zombies around it will immediately die, and their heads will explode.
Right.
Which is kind of cool, but we don't use it in the run.
Right. We'll still re-talk about it later on, because it's going to be definitely part of the story, right?
Oh yeah.
So here is the second build. Pretty much the same thing. There's going to be one more and another thing after that, but like the last one is kind of different. Well, much more different. And we actually deal with it with like an interesting strat. So here. I also grab like all the money cases. This is so I can actually get the million that I talked about earlier. To make sure I have the whole money and stuff. I also lied. I said we need a million. We actually need 1,050,000. The 50k is actually so we can buy one of Zombrex in the Lulu shop that will be introduced later.
I think there's been talks about that to maybe get the Zombrex, the secret Zombrex from Uranus zone.
Right.
And, you know, skip a key. But we need to find out if it's worth.
Yep. Alright.
I'm talking strats, that's not interesting. Shut up, me. We're here for the gameplay.
So here I don't have that much mullet spray in my 6-shooter, so I'm actually going to be grabbing that LMG, which is pretty much like just as good, almost. The reason why I'm saying it's just as good, it doesn't do as much damage, for sure. But also, I mean, it has 200 bullets instead of 60, so it's pretty much just as good, really. When it comes to last build, it's probably the hardest one as well.
And also we're grabbing the LMG for another purpose, but still later, not just because it's slightly better.
Right, that was fun. Let's kind of see it's just a little bit easier with the 6-shooter here. Fortunately though, the game lets us beat every time we finish the ball, so that's good. There we go. As you can see, I'm like drinking a lot of beer. Without the sportsman outfit, I probably would have vomited a few times.
You start vomiting when you drink 3 types of alcohol. So 3 beers, 2 vodkas, 1 beer. You get the drift.
Right,
and you vomit immediately when you hit any spoiled food.
Yep. So this is the reason why we killed Chuck earlier. It's it's also, well, one of the reasons why we grabbed the LMG. You get access to this container, I guess.
Well,
This thing.
It's a trailer.
It lets you customize motorcycles, so you can actually add like a bunch of stuff on it, such as LMG. So you can kind of just use that for the
and yes, we only had one LMG and there's 2 on the back. Don't find the logic.
So this place is actually full of mercenaries, but we can actually just weld in and shoot. And there we go. Actually super easy. Cool. That's it. And we can also use the motorcycle for pretty much just going where we want to be. We'll be introduced to the shop I was talking about right here. There's like a few of them around the map. We're gonna be, well, checking out this one, but we're only gonna be like
Imaginations? Is that really a word?
shopping at one of them.
Yeah, you just need to talk to this particular one to open all of them around the city.
Also, I was talking about animation canceling that you've seen me doing the whole run so far. This is another one of them that's also interesting. Kind of just get off the motorcycle by crashing and opening the camera. Alright. I think at this point, Rebecca is like calling you and telling you that you should meet in this dining thing. And she's telling you about like where our source is.
Okay,
like,
story time.
Yeah.
So right after blowing up the van, she tells you that yeah, TK is definitely up to something, and she wants you to meet the source of that she got for the video that we saw back in like the beginning of the game. And she tells you to come at this restaurant that we were at a certain hour. I don't really remember. But yeah, after a certain amount of time, Stacy says, "Oh yeah, shouldn't you meet Rebecca?" And then we go there and we find out that she's been kidnapped. And in order for her to free her, we need $1 million as a ransom.
Right.
So this is why we've been grabbing money all around the city.
Exactly. So here, instead of going where I want to go, I'm actually gonna make a stop in Grand Motorcycles, because as you could have told, it's much faster. Also, I have to make sure that I go on the left here. I don't know if you saw it, but there's a clown vehicle right here. It's actually a boss fight, so I'm actually kind of skipping the intro cutscene from the boss fight. Alright, so here, I mean, I'd like to ask chat something, if that's okay. We're gonna be fighting 2 bosses, right? We only have to kill one of them, and one of them is gold and one of them is silver. I'd like to know which one we should fight. So you have the choice, either gold or silver. Both of them are twins.
Yeah, Amber is the gold one and Crystal is the like silver one. Yeah, silver. And you can choose which one you can kill.
Yep. So I gotta make a stop for this guy. There we go. And we pretty much have everything we need. I'm just gonna stop for LMG and we'll be ready for the fight.
Just to be absolutely sure that Chad doesn't want to like, you know, ruin the run or anything, it literally doesn't change anything. We can kill either of them, fine.
We have a vote for gold in chat.
That's good. This will probably be it.
Also, I think we got a donation I just saw, because I am also watching the live at the same time.
We absolutely do. Now's a good time?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, cool. We have a €100 donation coming on in by Johnny Fortos. No comment, but thanks a lot. That's amazing.
That's great. And yeah, we're really fighting the gold. The other one can mess with us. Hopefully she doesn't. Seems like she's coming for us here. Alright. This is actually one of my worst boss fights. Definitely the one I have the hardest time with. Just because the silver one was actually mess with you mess with you a lot. Okay, we should be fine. Alright.
It's a really difficult boss fight.
Oh yeah.
Also, the way we actually are supposed to do it is that when you shotgun blast her, she will do like a spinning attack upwards and just be locked in place. And as long as you like stay near her and shotgun blast her, she will always do that attack. Yep.
Right. There we go.
So that's how we usually do it.
Right. It's kind of just not really consistent though, considering the silver one will sometimes just well on you and can't really do anything about it. Alright, so that's that. That's pretty much, well, I might jinx myself right here, but like, to me, that is usually the worst boss fight. Alright, so here...
So, story time. So while Rebecca was captured, she heard a radio call from TK that is about to be getting escorted out of the city with like money by a helicopter. So we know where the helicopter is gonna land. So we're gonna go there and try to catch him.
Alright, so I actually grabbed a toy gun that's gonna be maybe useful, maybe not. Also, I took the time to actually equip the most iconic part of Dead Rising because we don't equip the helmet anymore. So why not? Actually, it looks pretty good on this outfit as well.
We didn't even test it out. We don't think it gets rid of the face paint, but if it does, then yeah, that's.
I'm pretty sure it does.
We're gonna be slower, but yeah, we think it doesn't.
Alright.
We're literally just testing it right now.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be fine. It doesn't seem like that affect anything, anyways. So yeah, next box fight is gonna be helicopter pretty much because that's what we're kind of just trying to stop TK from escaping, right?
Yep.
You might have noticed that we don't really have any weapons though. We have a LMG right now, but that's really just it. We'll deal with this fight in like a really interesting way. Gonna clear those screens. As you can see, I pretty much only have LMG, right? So I have something else that might be useful, but alright. It's actually probably the easiest boss fight. We actually just use a toy gun, and the way this works, is actually just the toy gun ammo, like the bullets from it. They work as like throwables, right? And not only do we have the outfit that makes it throwable, like that makes it so throwables are doing more damage, and also like helicopter. The way you're supposed to kill the helicopter is actually just by throwing like lamps on it, like throwing items on it. We can actually just spam the toy gun instead. Makes this fight much faster.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna be going in this shop I was talking about earlier. We're gonna be pretty much like we're going there for one reason, but as we go there, we might as well go for the other reason as well. As you might have noticed, I got my money back. We pretty much got it back from DK, so we have $1 million. We actually lost it when we went to Twins. For Twins, you were supposed to give like 1 million, but you kind of just get it back in the store anyways. So I grabbed the sports fan, the sports car key. It's gonna be used later. And I also got this.
This store sucks.
Are you about to say something, Nala?
Oh no.
Alright.
And I guess I can talk about story.
Right, sure.
So right now we got TK, he's handcuffed in the safe house, and you know, we're gonna like keep him captured so he can like, you know, being brought into justice because, you know, he started this whole epidemic. So we have that, and also I forgot to mention that the way we talked about the game taking 3 days in the game, that's because 3 days after the start of like the distress call, the military is gonna come and try to save survivors.
Yep.
And right now we're at that point where it's about to, like, the army is about to come into the city to try and rescue us. So what we're gonna do is gonna go on the rooftop to try and get good pictures of it.
Right. It kind of just goes really bad though.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna explain what happens right there, because just skip the cinematic. But basically, we saw the army coming in and kill zombos to try and get to like the bunker of where we are. But something kind of suspicious came out of the vents. Fog, as you can see, like all the game is foggy now. And when zombies get into that gas, it transforms them into gas zombies that are faster they do a lot more damage and they can vomit at you, and that can stun you for like around 3 seconds.
Right.
And those zombies that basically wiped out the military here. So yeah, and we saw Rebecca down there with the military, and we're gonna try and find where she went, trying to save her.
We're not sure what happened to her, but seems like she needs our help, so just gonna go in the underground area. Also, in that cutscene, there's one dude, like the captain, that just sees all his soldiers die, and well, that can do things, right? That can do things for a man, for sure. Well, he's kind of just became a boss, even though he was supposed to help us here. It's actually a really sad boss fight too.
Yeah. He became a psychopath, as what we call bosses in Dead Rising.
So here we're just gonna be playing pretty much like Dark Souls with him. He's the one playing Dark Souls though. I'm the boss. But he's just gonna be rolling the whole time, really. The way this works is I'm like kind of moving back and forth. Bookend has like 2 modes, right? 2 modes. I mean, that was pretty bad, but it's okay. So yeah, he has 2 modes where he'll either be ranged or he'll either come to melee you. You kind of just try to like go back and forth. It's not that easy though, for sure. See, I was like a little bit too far away from him. And also, like, you can notice I'm like not shooting all the time. I guess Oliver can explain what that is.
Okay, so starting with Dead Rising 2 of the records, so this game, and moving forward, I think. So what happens to Psychopath is that Capcom saw that we just basically got the best weapons and just mashed attack until they died. So what they did with this game is they introduced invincibility frames to bosses. So if you spam them with the same attack, your second attack will do less damage for a certain amount of time. So you either have to do another attack or you have to wait a little bit before doing the same attack again to make sure it does the maximum amount of damage.
Exactly.
So this is why Deebz was not basically spamming the shotgun here and was waiting a little bit so that the invincibility frame could like stop and he could like shot him for maximum damage again.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So here it's pretty much straightforward. Grabbing Rebecca and going back to the safe room. You also notice that I made the quick step. Makes us go much faster. And also makes it so we can actually avoid the gas zombies. If the gas zombies ever grab you, it's like you have to do like 55 QTs. I'm exaggerating, but the grab animation is like really long.
You can go to 2 to 3 QTs, and the QTs can be like wiggle the joystick and then press 2 buttons, or wiggle the joystick and press a button.
Right. So this is the reason I would grab the sports car. You can actually escort her. We're gonna be using the sports car one more time later, but it's probably like the place where it's most useful. So the plant was kind of in the way there.
Oh,
we're good. All right. So here we're gonna be heading to a spot I kind of dislike. It's fun, it's great, as like gameplay wise. But the problem is there's one glitch that can happen. I've had it for like, I want to say like 2 weeks recently. I don't know why, but I've never had it before. It makes it so well, there's like one point where you do like interaction, and your camera's supposed to like change the angle, right? Sometimes it doesn't. For some people, we're not sure why, but it seems to be related to CPUs, right? You can actually fix it, and we came to agreement that if you ever get the issue, you just pause the timer, you fix it, and then you unpause the timer. If it happens, I'm gonna have to pretty much do like some trickery into my task manager, so I can actually like remove some CPU cores, so I can actually like go through with it.
We're basically gonna trick the game to think that it's running like the Xbox 360, so running with 1 core.
Right, exactly.
So yeah.
Like hopefully it doesn't happen, but like I said, I've been getting it for a while now. Even though like I've been running this game for like multiple months, I've never really had it before, but 2 weeks ago, it just started happening. So I'm not sure why my element is like this, but it's like.
Yeah, maybe lighting bug. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. That's actually kind of funny.
Oh, it's back now.
Interesting. Alright. It's not gonna go back. Alright, so it's gonna take like 50 seconds. We don't really have to pause the timer here, but hopefully it doesn't happen. So what I'll be doing is hacking the terminal. And here, if the camera doesn't change, I have to pretty much pause the game.
Yep.
And
You got it.
change all that stuff to one CPU, and I'm gonna change it back after that.
It is pretty unfortunate.
There we go. As you can see, the camera doesn't change, but the reason why this breaks the game is actually because if the camera doesn't change, you get an infinite loading after this one. But it, as you saw, it's like really easy to fix, right? It took me like a few seconds. There we go. If it ever doesn't work, I do have a save. The game seems like it wasn't lagging, so it might actually not work here. But I do have a save like right after it, so it should be fine. I think we're in an infinite loading, sadly. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That's okay though. I can pretty much just restart a game. Well, happens, I guess. I'm not sure why it doesn't work. It usually is consistent, but I don't know. Interesting.
I think it's what we talked about. I think it's because your CPU has 16 cores.
Yeah.
I have a 8-core
I'm not
CPU
sure what
and I
happened.
never got this, so I might have to like look into that.
Yeah, for sure. But it doesn't happen in like most people. Doesn't have that issue. It's the worst part. Also, I'm sorry about like my menu being really loud. Can't really do anything about that. It's gonna come back to the normal sound now. But yeah, I'm pretty much like, you know, I acted terminal, nothing really happened. We fixed the safe room, and I'm pretty much back to where I was. So it's all good.
Also, we got a cutscene where we see that TK got out of his like bed and he got bit by a zombie. Oh no!
Right.
So here at this point in the game, we had the choice of giving TK Zombrex or not. And what you do depends what ending you get. So since we don't care about the ending, to be honest, and we want to be fast, we're gonna not give Zombrex, TK Zombrex.
Alright, well, I guess you can explain what we're doing here. Also, if you didn't notice, the arrow is pointing you towards the objective. If you want to speedrun this game, never follow the arrow. You literally have to go the opposite way every single time.
Sometimes it can be used though.
Yeah, it's just pretty rare, right?
Yeah, don't think the arrow is gonna help you speedrun.
Yeah, you got it right for sure. Alright. So yeah. We're just heading to the underground because like we want to see like what's going on with the vent, like what is the gas, what is all that. And this is where we like learn more about the queens pretty much.
Where are you all going?
You
So I
can
want
notice,
to point
like,
out that you didn't restart your stream on Discord. That's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just be a little bit behind.
But yeah, here we're entering the, I guess like, how should I call that? I don't know. Place where the zombies are. Like, I guess it's kind of like a lab. I guess it's like kind of a lab.
I'm trying to find the right word, but I am bad at English. So.
I'm not sure. Also, we're gonna be adding to the worst bosses in the game. Like the very, very worst.
Oh yeah, oh god damn it. You made me remember.
They are really, really hard actually.
Yeah.
You see, I have 19 ammo. Hopefully it's enough. And well, it was. There we go. They're actually really easy, but in the game files, they're actually considered psychopaths. So they're actually bosses. I don't know why, but they have their own names. And like, they're not really important. Even if you watch the cutscenes, they don't really do much. They're kind of just there for like a few frames and that's it. But hey. Still
Story
checkpoint.
time.
Right, go for it.
So, what we learn here is that the basically company, because I'm gonna say what it is, the company that actually started the outbreak is Spinotrans, and Spinotrans is the company that produces Zombrex. So, what? Why? We don't know yet, but we learned that they basically paid TK to start the outbreak so they can do their stuff. We don't know what yet, but we know that the company behind Zombrex, the drugs that keeps people transforming into zombies, caused an outbreak, which is pretty ironic. And we're gonna learn why later.
Yep. Alright, well, we're gonna be heading to the last case of the round pretty much. Well, not pretty much. We're actually heading to the last case.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the last case.
Right,
I mean, you go to safe house, and it's the last case.
Right, okay. There's, well, 2 things that are remaining to do, and they're pretty, like, long, but you're all in, like, 1 case, so. Both of them are really interesting. Especially the last one. The last one is, you've seen how this game is, like, I don't want to say it's realistic, but, like, it has, like, a certain theme, and, like, it keeps, like, you know, it keeps that theme for, like, the whole game, right? But, like, the very last part is, to me at least, really confusing. Alright. So here we'll be heading to the outside area. Want to explain what that is, Olo?
Oh yeah. So, story time, because that's actually gonna explain. So, what we learn is that Stacy, the leader of Cure that we tried to like help the whole game, is actually an agent of Pinotrans. So, what she explained what she's doing this is because Zombrex, like in the first game, is made by queens. So, in order to make Zombrex, we need queens.
Mhm.
So, in order to get queens, we need an outbreak. So that's why they're starting it.
Right.
So right now, what she says is that there is harvesters outside to get a lot of queens faster. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to stop that. We're gonna go out and try to destroy those harvesters.
Yeah. Like, Frank West is really just a Chad, really. There's nothing to say about it. He's just a Chad. He's gonna be going around, fighting dozens of mercenaries, but he needs one friend, and that is, well, the motorcycle that we used earlier. We're pretty much gonna be going around, getting shot at, but we're gonna, like, try to avoid the mercenaries as much as possible by just, like, destroying all the harvesters, really. Yeah, Frank doesn't really care, I guess.
Even though he needs the Zombrex himself.
I'm not sure, like, the exact number of harvesters there are. I think it's around...
Let me count. So 1, 2... I need to count in French in my head, so excuse me if you hear some French.
It's pretty much just the same. What can happen here, though, is...
There's 8.
8? There's one thing that could have happened before we got onto the motorcycle. It's actually, like, their guns. Not the one that, like... The blaster gun, the one on the right here. Makes you vomit. It doesn't make you vomit, since you're on a motorcycle. But it can make you vomit. It makes you vomit for, like, a really long time. And you can notice that, like, a lot of people are shooting me. So this spot right here can actually kill you quite easily.
I want to explain the guns. I wanted to explain how the guns kind of work. Just, you know, why would they use the gun? It's because you wouldn't know in gameplay because you would probably use a queen. They kill those gas zombies, but gas zombies are immune to queens. So in order to kill the gas zombies to recall the queens, they use the blast high frequency gun. So that's the gun they shoot at you with, and it basically creates a high pitched kind of noise, and it just kills the gas zombies in one hit.
Right, exactly. Also, you might have noticed I reset checkpoint. This actually, I don't know if you saw it, probably for like a frame, you probably didn't. But there's like a bunch of mercenaries you can kind of just restart the checkpoint and avoid all of them. All right, so that's like the interesting part I was talking about. Yeah. If you ever played the game before, you know what I'm talking about. It's confusing to say the least. I don't know why, but we're actually fighting a giant robot with dubstep now. I don't know. The one that's like in the mech is Stacy though. She kind of just betrayed us. She's the one that's been calling us the whole game. She's the one that was like the leader of Pure at the beginning. So Pure was actually, well, the one that did it pretty much.
Yeah, I'm really explained.
So yeah, this boss is a 3-phase, as you can see with the stars. This is the first. Pretty simple. Also, there's also combo weapons in this game. We don't use them, as you might have noticed, but we're gonna be using one right now for a second.
We use some of them in another category of this game called All Bosses,
Oh, yeah.
which is just kill all the psychopaths in this game.
Right.
Which is, in my opinion, a more interesting category because we get to see overtime mode in
Right.
All Bosses. So, in
fun,
order
but
to get
yeah.
overtime mode, we
All
had to
Bosses is
give
like-
TK zombies.
Right. There's also like a whole bunch of like you said, combo weapons like how do you? Well, I have laser swords. Right.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of combo weapons in
Right,
this game. I
laser
think there's
swords,
like
lots of
around,
bullets.
yeah, there's 50 of them I think.
Right.
And yeah, we use like around 4 of them I think in the All Bosses run, but in this run here, Timeskip only use 1, and it's the one where you made right now,
Yep.
which is
back.
Vacuum Cleaner plus Cement Saw.
Yep. You'll see how much damage that does. It's kind of like a really big difference compared to them all. You can actually two-phase this. Kind of just need to go fast though. You probably don't get it, but that's a 3 phases is not bad. Kind of waiting for attacks. As you can see, she has like different attacks. Some of them are way better than others for sure. Also unfortunate. This is kind of just the attacker one though. I sadly kind of missed it because I got knocked down, but there you go. And the last part, well, it's gonna be QTEs, because that's how 2010 games go. You cannot go without a fight. Like, you cannot do a last boss fight without QTEs, right? It's just a must, really.
So headphone warning that we can't control when we finish each QTE. There's gonna be 3 QTEs basically, and each time we finish one, there's gonna be a loud noise,
Right.
loud like opera singer that we cannot control. So be advised.
It's not too bad, but it's definitely a bit louder than everything else.
Yeah, it
Makes
can really surprise
I
you.
guess it makes it very dramatic, but as I said, this boss fight is just really confusing.
Dubstep then opera.
Right, it's just really, really confusing. Also, I want to say the countdown will finish when I do the third QTE. So there's going to be 3 phases for that boss fight, and the very last QTE, there's going to be 4 QTEs for every phases, and well, for that last QTE, this is where the time will stop. I pretty much have to do that move 3 times.
The last button prompt of the third time you get on Casey to fight her.
Exactly.
That's when the time.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for the Ultra-san, I guess. It's so confusing. I don't get it. I just don't understand. We're gonna get that 2 times. Pretty much like when that sound comes up for the third time, this is where the fun starts. I mean, they run out.
So I just want to point out that you were only 3 zombie kills to have 4 digits. Oh, never mind. You did it. As soon as they talked about it. So one thing that can happen here for this boss fight is that if you see the QTEs here, if you do them fast enough, you can have the fourth button press to be a little bit faster.
Right. It's like that the attack you don't want to see though. I should just like stop and do nothing. Kind of just have to wait now. I'm waiting for the this to turn green pretty much. There we go. Cool. So that will be it, pretty much. Oh, I guess we can like watch a very end cutscene. The way this game goes is you kill a boss, our friend makes a fun about it. And this is probably like the funniest fun of the game, so. That was actually a pretty good run, I think. Very nice. It's really enjoyable as well. Hope you enjoyed it too. Yeah. This is probably one of the best cutscenes in the game. His spawns are not great, but that's what makes it good.
I think it was a 59 or 2 when you did the last routine.
Looks like you're a little out of your league, boy.
Yeah, there's gonna be one pun, and for this fight specifically, there's gonna be another pun after that. Because that's how Frank does it, I guess. The second one is probably the best one.
It's Agent S. I'm ready for extraction. Yeah, I just have an old newspaper that needs to be taken out to the trash.
Frank,
Always thought you had a crush on me.
that's the first.
Too bad I don't dig flat chicks.
And that's the second. That's Frank for you. He does that for every single bosses. Even the one that I mentioned earlier that was really sad. Just does pun for them.
Channel
The question is like,
Satisfaction News?
which one is the real psychopath?
This is Frank West.
Frank or the
Someone lied
psychopath?
to you. There's a bunker. full of
Anyways,
survivors
I hope
in
you enjoyed
Fortune
it.
City. I need rescue choppers.
That's the end of
That's
the
pretty
run.
much it.
Yeah,
I guess we can
cheers.
like
Before that fire.
shout out or something. I just want to say Olo does this game. I do this game as well. I also run other Dead Rising games. I run Dead Rising 1, I run this game, and I also run all bosses for this game. Hologram does the same for all bosses. He's also been practicing Timeskip not long ago. And we are also both Dying Light 1 runners, and well, Dying Light 2 now. That's where we met actually.
Not me, I'm not a Dying Light 2 runner.
Soon to be.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah. Guess I'm ending it out to you, Chair.
Alright, cool. Yeah, no, that was a great run. Lovely to watch as always. Dead Rising is a fantastic series. So yeah, absolute treasure. And yes, everybody, that will be it for me on hosting as well. And so I will see you tomorrow for my next hosting shift. But until then, we got me taking up the hosting seat. And the next run will be Rayman Raving Rabbits Any Percent by Soaring Sloth. So you've got that to look forward to. See you around, everyone.